On Thursday, the Justice Department took into custody in El Paso 2 more alleged leaders of the Sinaloa cartel, one of the most violent and powerful drug trafficking organizations in the world.
2 drug cartel kingpins, they are now in U.S. custody. The FBI arrested Ismael El Mayo Garcia and Joaquin Guzman Lopez. He's the son of the notorious El Chapo in a sting operation yesterday. Both face several charges tied to fentanyl and drug trafficking. Let's bring in Ray Donovan, DEA former chief of operations. I think Martha and I need some help understanding something. Why would El Chapo's son have wanted to participate in this sting operation? That's something that Matt Finn said earlier.
So the first reason is the tremendous pressure on them throughout Sinaloa, on the cartel, from the Mexican partners as well as U.S. agents that are hunting them down. So the pressure on them would push them to want to cooperate. Keep in mind that another Chapo son, Ovidio, was extradited to Chicago earlier, last year, and so he was already in custody. So it's just one of these things where Joaquin would want to get in front of being captured or killed in battles between the cartel itself and other cartels.
And then we had another question. Do you think the pilot was in on this somehow?
That sting operation, let me give you some perspective on that. First of all, it takes a long period of time. It takes intelligence, coordination, and logistics to pull that off. It's not an easy sting operation. It's a tremendous victory for the United States and all the victims of drug trafficking. And I do think that everyone would have been involved, and the only one that wouldn't have been involved was Miles Zambada.
And how bad of a person is El Mayo?
Mayo was the original founding leader of the Sinaloa cartel going back to the 80s, along with Chapo Guzman. This is really indicative of tremendous effort that goes back 30 years to bring him to justice. He stood up the cartel. He made it the most powerful cartel in the world, from cocaine to methamphetamine to heroin, and now recently to fentanyl. Mayo, this capture is huge. It's still early to see what the impact will be in Mexico, but it's certainly going to change, no question about it.
I have here the fentanyl seizures at the southwest border year to date, 14,500 pounds, and we are, that's probably going to surpass last year's record at 26,000. Also, overdose deaths from synthetic opioids, 70,486 in a 12-month period from January to January. So I know that you say it will take a while to make a difference, but could it make some difference pretty quickly?
Yes, I do think it's going to make a difference. The questions remain right now, Dana, what's going to happen to Sinaloa? Are they going to fall in line with other cartel leaders? Mayo was the godfather within that cartel. So are there going to be rivals that are now going to compete for control of the routes into the United States? And so that's what we're trying to figure out what the next steps will be for the cartel. Fentanyl is their primary means of generating millions upon millions of dollars throughout Mexico and the United States. I don't see that dropping, regardless of who's in charge of the cartel.
Well, El Mayo, and obviously they're not going to be held together because that could be terrible, but El Mayo, would that be somebody that you'd put like in solitary confinement, not allow him to talk to people so that he could try to make an escape?
Absolutely. He's on par with Chapo Guzman. I mean, they were partners that stood up the entire Sinaloa cartel. Powerful person, one of the most powerful crime bosses throughout the world. So that's why it goes back to how important this capture is for us. Ray
Donovan, how lucky are we that we had you on the show today? Thank you. You answered almost all of our questions. We'll have you back. Thank you.